Organ and system. Different tissues have related functions, assembled together in structure to carry out its function with greater efficiency. Such structures are called organs and they are specialized to form particular functions. For example, stomach, which is an organ, has the function of food digestion. Protein part has a secretory epithelium which secretes the gastric juice and a muscular tissue which is the smooth part for contracting the walls of the stomach and mixing the food with the enzyme thoroughly and moving the food to the posterior end. The formation of organs also has a selective value because this leads to an efficient accomplishment of their functions both qualitatively and quantitatively. In animals, organ formation is far more complex and defined. Organs are part of organ systems where total functions involved in one process or phenomena are carried out. The organ levels of organization is much less definite in plants than it is in animals. At the most, we must distinguish roots, stems, leaves, and reproductive structures. Clear-cut functions, the distinguished feature, can be assigned to each of these structures. Roots are involved in anchoring the plant, storage of food, and procuring water and minerals. The shoot supports the entire plant, while the leaves are primary organs for food manufacture. Flowers or other reproductive structures are involved in producing the next generation. Reproduction. The complexity of the organ systems of animals is associated with a far greater range of functions and activities than is found in plants. Individual, a whole organism. Various organs in plants and various organ systems in animals are assembled together to form an individual, the whole organism. The whole organism has its individuality as far as its characteristics are concerned. It is different from other members of the same species in certain respects. The various functions, processes, activities of an organism are coordinated. In an animal, all the systems work in coordination with each other. For instance, if a man is engaged in continuous and hard exercise, not only his muscles are working, but there is also an increased rate of respiration and heartbeat to supply the muscles with the increased amount of oxygen and food which they need for continuous exercise. In animals, the coordination is achieved by the means of the nervous system and endocrine system, whereas plants only long-term regulation of activities is brought about hormones. Organisms work as a whole and it interacts and responds to the environmental changes as a whole. Population. A population is a group of living organisms or same species located in the same place at the same time. Examples are the number of rats in a field of rice, the number of students in your biology class, or the human population in a city. Population is a higher level of biological organization than organism because here a group of organisms are of the same species is involved. This level of organization has its own attributes which came into being by living together of a group of organisms of the same species. Some of these attributes are gene frequency, gene flow, age distribution, population density, population pressure, etc. All these are the new parameters which have appeared due to the population of an organism and we will study them in detail in the population ecology. Community. Populations of different species living in the same habitat form a community. Communities are dynamic collections of organisms in which one population may increase and another may decrease due to the fluctuation in the abiotic factors. Some communities are complex and well interrelated, other communities may be simple. In a simpler community, any change can have drastic or the long lasting effects. The foregoing account makes it clear that an organism can be studied at different levels of organization, can be studied at subatomic, atomic, molecular, macromolecular, organelle, cell, tissue, organ, and organ system level. We can also look at it as an individual, as a part of population of similar individuals, as a part of community that includes other populations, and a part of a community of an ecosystem which includes abiotic factors as well as living organisms. The organism's interaction can take many shapes. It may be predation, parasitism, commensalism, mutualism, and competition. Living world in space. Living world of today is enormous in size. It has been reproducing and evolving since the time of this origin on this planet. Today, almost all parts of the world all abounds in living organisms. The distribution of organisms in space can be studied through biomes. A biome is a large regional community primarily determined by climate. It has been found that the major type of plant determines the other kind of plants and animals. These biomes have therefore been named after the type of major plants or major feature of the ecosystem. The major biomes of the world you will study in the chapter of ecology.